Okay, this is my third attempt. I don't feel well, so I'm going to try to get through this really fast. February the 1st, we have Venus in Sagittarius fixing to come into Capricorn. Venus is going to hit Saturn first, and then Jupiter, and then catch up with the Sun. But we're in a Mercury retrograde right now. It'll go on for another 3 weeks. Volatile Mars here. We have Mars fixing to come in conjunction with the Algol star. When that occurs, it will be very volatile. Right there on the 13th, it's going to be very volatile. Probably the 12th, 13th, and 14th. I would count all 3 of those days as a day to watch. Especially with what's going on over here. You will have the moon in Aquarius part of that day. The day before, anyway. But you have the Jupiter-Venus conjunction here, just finished. Mercury still retrograde in this mess. But all of this is still coming off of the 6th. The 6th is going to be huge with Mercury back in Capricorn. Earthquakes with Mars over here. All this is going on the cardinal cross. Sorry. The only thing we don't have on the cardinal cross is Neptune here in Aquarius. We have Pluto, Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, the Sun, Mercury, Uranus, and Mars. And that's very heavy energy. And I was thinking about how this really all started. It was 2016, and everything was loaded up on the cardinal cross. And then it moved to the fixed cross. And then it moved to the mutable cross. And now it's come full circle, loading back up on the cardinal cross, when the planets all come together like this. So it's taking them almost 5 years to complete where they come together again in a particular house and are on a particular cross. And a pattern I'm starting to notice. Another pattern I'm starting to notice that I really want to do a longer video about, I'm just not able to right now, is this Mercury retrograde. I've been thinking on it in terms of Mercury retrograde, retro-causality. This will be the 3rd Mercury retrograde, so I've paid attention to the last 2, and I've paid attention to before the Mercury retrograde. Because y'all don't know really what's going on. I've not updated you. I had company, and when my company left, I lost the motherboard on my tower. New tower. Lost the motherboard on it. So I went to my laptop backup, and I lost my hard drive. Gone. Can't save it, can't salvage, can't recover any data. So I had to get another computer up and running. I still need another backup laptop is what I need. But that can wait. It's not that important. I'm sick. I've had some dental problems which set off my TMJ. So I've already been through a series of antibiotics. So I haven't been to the doctor. I'm just going to try to get through it. And I've given it to my brother, so he's sick too. And I just want to stay in the bed. I don't want to do anything. I'm cold. I'm stuffy. It feels like strep. It's awful. So anyway, with Mercury going retrograde, I marked where Mercury was when I had a communication failure, because Mercury's going to retrograde back to that point. I should experience communication failures, my computer breaking down, during a Mercury retrograde. But it's actually in a period where Mercury will go retrograde. So I'm watching for that marker, because in the last 2 Mercury retrogrades, I had more of a Mercury retrograde before it went retrograde. I seemed to be fine during them. My issue was beforehand. Like it's what, on the same markers. Communication failures, traveling failures, stuff like that would just really involves Mercury, that it's happening to be in a place before Mercury goes retrograde but comes back to, which I find interesting. So this will be the 3rd one. This will be the 3rd time, and if it marks that day, then there's something to this that I'm not really completely understanding, but I'm starting to see another pattern form. It's like Mercury's not retrograde yet, but it's reaching into the future because it knows Mercury's going to go retrograde back to that spot. And those of us on the cardinal cross, we're the heavies anyway. You're going to catch the hardest of it. Capricorns, you're going to catch the hardest of this. I'm used to the Saturn sun. That's in my 1st house. Mars. This Mars is really the big problem because of where it's at on that cardinal cross and its aspects there. But this is all about government. I would feel much better if Mars was in Capricorn, but it's not. It's the one that needs to be here, but it's not. It's at a 90-degree angle on the same cross. So, a lot going on. Let's punch back to today. Let's bring it back to today, which is the 1st. Again, Venus. When is Venus moving in? Tomorrow. Just a few hours, probably. Sometime later today. Yep. Almost by the time you probably watch this. Oh, yeah. By the time you watch this, Venus is moving into Capricorn right now. Which will help. This is going to help. I like the Saturn-Venus conjunction. I like a Venus-Jupiter conjunction. Jupiter is your desires, even though debilitated here, and combust of the sun. But Venus is your heart. So when these two come together, you get the desires of your heart. Shout out to those Capricorns out there waiting on that. I like when Venus and Saturn come together, because that's your higher self in your heart. They work together. They're upper chakra. All of this going on here is in the upper chakra, to where Mars is playing in the lower chakra, in fire. Fire and water are below the solar plexus, and heaven and earth are above the solar plexus. Alright, I don't feel well, so I'm going to cut this short. I'll be back when I can. Feel like I'm trying to come into recovery mode. But I don't want to do anything but just go back to bed. Y'all know what to do. Bank your karma, be the kindness, hang in there, buckle up. Because come the 6th, when Mercury pops back in with this in a retrograde phase with the Saturn Venus conjunction, that's where your heart's in connection with your higher self. In the 1st decan. This decan here is in the Pick a Tricks imagery, which is moon magic. This decan is the pure white lamb. It's the story of Anakin Skywalker when he goes into the Jedi Temple and kills all the younglings. And it's the story of the ones that survived, the ones that got away. Which we're not told that story, but yeah. Almost like when the Hebrews in their temple, they did the goat sacrifice, right? So they had two goats. There were two goats, and one was called the scapegoat. All right, I'm done. I need to go cough and spit and all that good stuff. I'll be fine. Don't worry about me. I'm just staying in bed till I feel better.